Huzzah! What's going on, everyone? It is Storm the Bard here. We're back, finally back, with some top 5 reasons to play, and we're going to start it out right up with Hellpoint. Hellpoint is a game by Cradle Games and published by Tiny Build. It is a Souls-like sci-fi game. That's right, Souls-like in a sci-fi universe. You're talking some cool weapons and like guns and powers and all kinds of things, but we'll get into that. This is top 5 reasons to play. I'm back. Let's get into it. Let's go with our first one here, and that is going to be Expiration. Now, this game was really enjoyable. We did this back on stream and stuff, and there was a lot of places to go explore around and just see all the cool things. The environment is just really cool. It's got this very dark, dead space, Event Horizon type thing. We'll talk about that a little more, but that's what I kind of got through when I was going through it. It just was really enjoyable, all the different little scenarios and areas and stuff like that. Exploration was key. There was tons of little places to find, like shortcuts and secret doors and such. It was really, really enjoyable, and it's why it's definitely made one of my top 5 reasons to play it. So, number 2, of course, these are no consecutive order. These are always just how I feel. Is weapons and builds. So there's a lot of different weapons and builds you can do in the game. You've got things from your classic two-handers, you got things from kind of a sword and shield, to staffs, to spells, to guns, to explosives, all kinds of different things that you can do and play around with. There's tons of builds. YouTube has plenty of videos on build guides and things of that nature. I definitely, if you get into it, I highly suggest checking it out. So, and it's really cool the different things you can do and stuff. I played pretty much a full-on kind of magic dexterity as my main character when I went through the whole game and stuff, and it was a lot of fun using like this little box that would shoot out like beams of light, and a sword that I could like kind of just like a saber I was kind of jumping back and forth with and spinning around and all kinds of cool stuff. Alright, number 3. The creatures. So I'm a big fan of dark fantasy. I love stuff like just the crazy looking things from dark fantasy, dark sci-fi stuff. This game totally threw me back to some things like Hellraiser, Dead Space, The Suffering. There's a lot of different creatures and different things. We got like stuff like that's robots and stuff. We've got like these kind of like Hellraiser looking like almost zombie-like guys. These kind of Dead Space looking dudes. These weird looking like even like stingrays that fly around and stuff. There's just all kinds of crazy creatures in the game. Really good job by Cradle and the choices they made for these, just this very dark atmosphere. And I really enjoyed it. So, let's get into number 4, theme and setting. Okay, so I mentioned this before. I personally felt this game had a very Event Horizon feel, especially because one of the main things about the entire game is that you're in a space station that's circling around a black hole, and the black hole causes like little events and things like that and stuff where it could cause a horde of monsters to come your way, to better treasures, to things of that nature and stuff. It had a very Event Horizon, feel to me, while it also had a very good like Dead Space feel. It just had this kind of like this a lot of mystery going on with the space station itself and what was going on, all the creatures and things. So really enjoyed the aspect and the theme behind it, and that is why it definitely made it into one of my top 5 reasons. Let's finish it off with, well, of course, like any Souls game and any feeling of accomplishment is always that victory feel. This game was difficult, without a doubt, but I felt like it's one of those things where you could definitely go around and you could play it depending on the build you built and stuff. Once you got that build, once it clicked for you, going through the game, enjoying it, playing it all the way to the end, it didn't feel too tedious. Like the deaths weren't tons and tons of nature. It didn't feel like it was almost it was extreme or anything like that. It was just like once I got my build down, I could just run through kind of, it was still, of course, it's Souls-like, so, you're still going to be dodging, you're still going to be moving around, things like that, but some of the features that they put in there, the ability that when you use your weapon, you get what is like almost kind of like energy back that allows you to heal. And so that felt pretty good instead of like, Estus flasks and stuff where if you use them, that's it until you get to a next bonfire. This was cool because if you could just get some, especially if you find some like lower end enemies, take them down, you can get your energy back, heal up, get back into the fray. I thought it was pretty cool. So the victory, the bosses and stuff, it felt good once you defeated them and moved on. And that's always a great feeling in any Souls game. Alright, it's been a while. I'm still a little rusty, so please forgive me on that. But this is Hellpoint, again, developed by Cradle Games. Those guys are amazing. One of the guys I have talked to plenty of times over at PAX, and we have been back and forth on Twitter and Discord and all that stuff. It is published by Tiny Build Games. Great publishing company. They do a lot of great indie titles. Definitely check it out. It's on PC, it's on Xbox, it's on PlayStation. This was all played with PlayStation. It all could be played co-op too. I didn't mention that part before, but this also is a game you could play co-op with your friend, which is a lot of fun. So those are my top 5 reasons. This is Hellpoint. My name's Storm the Bard. I'm glad to be back doing these again. Have a great one, and as always, huzzah!